We should say congregate hello and then.
That's what she was saying.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was on my phone. Okay, it said to 3. After 3 or during 3?
1, 2, 3. We said we would answer some law school questions. My name is Alyssa.
I'm Karis.
I'm Courtney.
Shay.
So Karis, not we. Let me not take credit for that. Karis typed the questions up and printed them. We have them in a bowl and we'll just select them and we'll give you our answers and like honest answers. This group is pretty honest and we have no filters, so yeah. So first question.
Did Miss Rona in online classes help or hurt?
Definitely hurt.
Let's say answer first.
Oh, I'm sorry. My answer still stands.
What she said definitely hurt. It didn't help at all. It made things worse. You thought online classes would be... No, it's not.
Them professors acted like they cared and they didn't. I mean, I wouldn't say they didn't care, but it was definitely hard getting up for class and having to engage and like being in my natural habitat.
It's a really aggressive transition. If you ever took online classes in undergrad, it's literally not the same thing. Like the amount of discipline it takes to take an online class in a higher education, it was honestly a nightmare. 0 out of 10 would recommend. Like it was so bad.
Yeah.
No, for real.
0 out of 10.
Law school is not meant for online.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. That's too thick.
That's not even supposed to look. Coach,
did you put it back in?
No, I
You're
didn't.
cheating.
Can you describe your typical day as a law student?
I wake up at the same time as Courtney. I live a little bit further, actually way further, but it's whatever.
I live far.
I come to class. I never stay after school. Ever. I used to stay at the library.
For these people.
Listen.
Cut. Yeah.
No, it is encouraging because not everybody can study in the library. Not everybody's a library person, and I'm not a library person.
That part.
But we didn't learn that until halfway through the first semester.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
Of this conversation.
For real.
Yeah, the main takeaway is the library is
not for everybody.
It is definitely, it's what you make of it, because when the bar kids were prepping in February, we didn't have access to the library, and we literally realized that we could be twice as productive at home than sitting in a room with one another, just shooting the shoot. For a couple hours, like we literally had to like write on the board, you're allowed to talk at this time, you're allowed to leave at this time. Like the library is not for everyone. Do not fall into the hype. You're not smarter because you book a room. You're not going to get more work done because you're in, a cold library. Like
We're gonna just pick them up.
yeah. To each his own, honestly.
How do you manage life, love, and law?
What even is that?
I did it. It was
next caller.
Listen. The thing was that law school, I had to give up everything. Like it was law school, and sometimes for my friends and family, and it's like you don't have time. I moved to a new state. I didn't have time to go out and meet people and actually like find somebody. I think it would have been a different experience if I was in my home state of Texas, but I wasn't. And yeah, so I didn't manage it. I didn't find anybody. I didn't. Like you gotta sacrifice something, and I wasn't sacrificing my time for school or my time to go out and have fun. And so my love life was put on the back burner. So that's what I can say about that.
I think we're also like very intentional about not allowing ourselves to lose ourselves to school. Like even if it meant like we read at the beginning of the week so we could go out on Wednesday or on Thursday, like
or both.
Like,
the entire weekend.
But like Granted, just because you see me out does not mean I'm not working hard. Like, obviously I am. But, like, if you allow this to consume you, it will. And I think we made the decision early not to, like Courtney says, allow law school to be our only personality trait. Like, we just made a decision that it wasn't going to happen. So,
one thing about us, we gonna go out.
And I would like to add that I think that the way to manage it is to find friends that are doing the same things as you. So it was important that we all hung around each other. I think it would be different if I was with my friends back home and stuff like that, because it is a competitive environment and you don't want to feel like you're not productive. But being around them and doing stuff that's not law school made it feel better, because if I was with other people, I'd be like, dang.
They probably
really, and I'm not, but when I'm with them, like, okay, this is kind of okay. So,
but also don't be confused. Like, everyone in this group pushes one another. Like, if you're not on your P's and Q's, every single person is gonna let you know in a very passive aggressive way.
Passive.
You're right, aggressive. But it's in a loving way. But it is important, like, to have those breaks. Like you know what? We read for CivPro for 9 hours a day. We going to line down, and that's on that.
Period.
Next caller.
Got a thick one.
I've seen it. Okay. Nigga, you better. Okay.
There's gonna be a lot of editing.
How does your first year of law school change your interest area? Well, for me, I kind of had an idea. Like, I don't know. I had a couple ideas in my head. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but to be honest, when I got my grades, I'm like, okay, you kind of good at this. Like, you kind of know this subject area. So then I started thinking, like, okay, well, maybe that's my passion. But I feel like I'm still not there. Like, I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, but I just still don't know.
I agree with Shay. I think I came in knowing what I wanted to do. Like, I want to go to law school for this, right? And then, like she said, you get your grades back and you're like, oh, this is what I'm good at. Like, this is what I produce the best product in.
Right.
So I think for me, I started looking for like jobs or like types of jobs that I could do that I liked based on what I was good at.
Right.
And definitely still not there yet, but I have like a better idea. And to answer the question more directly, I guess, it does shift your interests. And they did tell me coming in, like, you're going to come in knowing what you want to do, and that's not what you're going to do. And I didn't believe it, but like, definitely not.
It's still important to have a plan if there's an area of law that you take interest in, because in your 2L and 3L years, you will obviously have opportunities to take, like, if you're interested in, like, family law, you want to, like, take, like, juvenile classes or, you know, like, things that deal in that. So it's still important, but like Kara said, like, it's likely to change. Be open-minded. It's not the end of the world. Like, you might find you actually really enjoy property.
It's a good thing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, I think that I took an internship for criminal defense, and I said that I was going to do that, and then I took contracts, and I really like contracts, so definitely changed. That's my stuff. Okay? Don't hit me up for advice, though.
All right.
Disclaimer.
Oh, this is a good build off. What was your favorite course and why? We all like to pick things that we're good at.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not.
I would go with 2, actually. I like CivPro because you'll learn when you get to law school, you don't get a lot of the rules. So, like, it's pretty much like, this is what the law is, and you kind of have to figure it out for yourself. But CivPro is, like, literally a book of rules. So, I like structure. Civil procedure. You guys don't know that. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, so it's just like a book of rules. So, that was better for me. But also, I'm good at property, so I enjoy that now for some reason.
Mine was definitely torts. I feel like because as a 1L, you're not really used to law subjects. And I feel like torts was, like, easy. Like, somebody hits you, they sue. So I'm just saying, like, you can relate to that course the easiest. And then plus, I feel like that was a class where I changed the most because I wasn't used to cold call. I wasn't used to standing up. I wasn't used to briefing a case. And the first day, he was like, stand up, brief this case What's the fact? What's this?
Oh, you're not standing. I can't hear you.
Right. Like, it made me transition quickly.
What was your average stress level and how did you focus? I was stressed all the time. When you're in law school, it's like really, there's always something to do, so you're always stressed about something, and it's like, oh, I gotta read this case, or I gotta read this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat, it is stressful, guys. You really have to be committed to this. Mm-hmm. How did I focus? My friends, they kept me accountable, and just being around people that were in law school helped me focus. Sometimes I wasn't focused, and then you just gotta snap back, because if one day you decide like you're gonna take off that day, you gotta work twice as hard the next day. So it's just kind of, you realize that if you don't focus, you're gonna have to do more work in the end. So it's kind of just best to stay focused and stay around people that are on the same path as you.
So nice.
Yeah. A marathon.
I would also like to add, make a schedule.
Planners.
And stick to it.
Stick to it.
Like, don't just write it one day in pretty little pens and colors,
Yeah.
and then don't look at it for 2 weeks.
It'd be cute, like, so funny. But, like, if you don't stick
Not
to
you
it.
quoting Rose.
So funny.
Make a schedule. Just because, like, it's going to be stressful all the time, but, like, it's going to be extra stressful if you don't give yourself a schedule. You have to stay there.
Yeah. And adding to that, like, kind of what both of them said, the schedule part, and then she said her friends hold her accountable. They stress that it's like a self-regulated learning environment, which it is. Like, hold yourself accountable, but, like, there are going to be times where you just literally need people. Like, for me, like, I'm not a people person, so I never thought I would say I needed people, but, like, you really need people.
In your presence, because...
Like, just elicit text sometimes, like, hey, are you studying? Like, no, I'm not, but maybe I should. Like,
right.
It's just important to have people.
Also, to follow up from that, no, seriously, like,
we are stuck in the transition words. I'm so sorry.
You know, we just took exams, whatever, because I was transitioning. Furthermore,
moreover,
in addition, nonetheless,
notwithstanding.
Okay,
go ahead.
All right.
Like, you'll talk to a lot of, like, law professionals and, like, people in the field, and, like, I learned this a lot, like, when I interned, like, in college and stuff. People try to make law school sound like it's, like, this, like, cutthroat, like, you versus everybody type of field, which is true in a way, but it definitely does take a village. Like, life was not meant to do alone, and, like, we probably would not have succeeded as well as we did if we couldn't, like, lean into one another. Like, I struggled a ton in torts, and like Shay said, like, that's her ish. Like, she, you know, like, we push through that together, so it does take a village. So don't think, like being overwhelmed is normal, but getting a good group of people that can push you through that is a way to manage the stress. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna, you know, I think I can handle this.
We should have, like, one person answer.
One person answer?
Okay, so I'm gonna
Jesus.
just answer these really quick because we already.
Oh, you should designate them to a person.
So, 1, do we wear nice clothes every day? Obviously not. 2, is it very competitive? Shay already talked about that, but it's important to have people. And 3, how long are you gonna be broke? Forever. If anybody wants to elaborate on any of those questions, please.
I never dressed up. Only some days, but you definitely can't wear shorts and then, like,
Remember, law school is a place of business, even though it's a school.
Yeah.
And more importantly, make sure you know what business appropriate clothes are.
Period.
Like, know the difference between business casual and business professional requirement.
Yeah. Or just read the room. Like, every school is different. I'm pretty sure it is. So the first couple days or weeks, dress up, look nice.
Yeah.
Put on your Sunday's best. If you see that's not the vibe, dress down. First of all, you're a 1L. You're not going to have time to be getting cute every day. I'm telling you that.
I was going to say, I think, like, I noticed that a lot of upperclassmen actually, because they're starting to go into the work field, and you're going to have to dress up every day. Like, as we get higher up, you're going to want to just wear nice clothes every day. But, like, us, we're just happy to be there. Like, we were trying, like, yeah. 1L year is, like, the year where you either sink or swim, and we were just trying to swim.
And you
So-
don't want your professors looking at you like because
Yeah.
you dressed inappropriately. Like,
And even when you dress down, don't dress like you're going to a frat party or you're going to the club. Like
jeans.
Yeah, and also let's talk
Yeah.
about that because professors literally look at that.
they will
They
pay
have
so
so
much
many
attention to
students
that.
and they pick little things to remember you by.
Yeah.
You don't want them to remember you by that little T-shirt you be wearing every Tuesday,
Yes.
or you know,
Something to
dumb
show
stuff.
your breasts. Like,
Right.
like that's just doing too much. It's
Oh,
law
yeah.
school. This isn't undergrad.
It's just an easy question.
Yeah.
That's a
Am I pulling like a couple?
Whatever you want, sis. I was just trying to speed it up.
All
And
right.
they look pretty easy, so I answered them all at once. But if they're like detailed, serious, elaborate questions, then I would just pick one.
I think I pulled literally the hardest ones.
Okay, we'll just
Okay,
pick
well
one.
we'll just edit out what you
Okay.
think is like.
First question is, how do I find a law school that fits me best? Really good question.
Yeah.
What's the hardest thing about being a 1L? I think we've kind of briefly touched on
Yeah.
it, like
Yeah.
being overwhelmed, being away from home, being stressed, being around new people, being in an environment where you
The
literally,
workload.
yeah, you have
Yeah.
never learned anything like law school unless you like have a parent or someone immediate in your family that's been there. No one in your life understands
Yeah.
what you're going through, why you're overwhelmed. Like it's a lot. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We reached it today at noon.
Literally.
Yeah. How have you maintained your mental health? This is something that like
Oh.
has
that's a
been
good
like
one.
really tough on all of us. I remember in October when all of us kind of had like some sort of nervous breakdown. Like we barely talked to each other and everybody went home for a week. Like I literally called my parents and cried. I was like, I don't think that I'm cut for this. And my dad was like, you're more than cut for this. This cloth was developed for you. Like you
Please
have
don't
to.
cry. I'm about to cry.
No, seriously, like you have to find people in your life that like these girls will literally do mental health checks on you. They will text you. They're like, they notice if your vibe is off. Like keeping your mental health in check is like surrounding yourself with people that like not only know what the signs are if you're deteriorating, but also how to help you. Like we learned a lot about each other's like anxiety, social anxiety, stress levels, like this, like you when you find a unit, like it becomes apparent. Like finals last semester, we were so mean to one another. Like literally we were sitting at lunch and people would be like, you know what's toxic about you? Like
You know what I like about you?
you know what bothers
You
me
know
about
what you do a lot.
You do
Yeah.
that all the time.
Yeah, and it's like after a while we had to start like sending apologies and being like, hey, this bothers me. Like you like keeping it in check is like it's something you have to work twice as hard for because this you're a product of this environment. It is built to take you down. Like especially like these women on this couch, we are the 2%. Right, like we are all that we have in this life is other, Black women that are pushing other Black women. Like you have to be able to find like a safety net essentially. And like I have really supportive family. We all have really supportive family. That's another like they don't know anything about law school, but I can call my dad right now and he's gonna talk me through it. Like we can call our parents. They have absolutely no idea why we're stressed, but having an ear to lean into, like. Also, we like Wind Down Wednesday. We like social event. No, seriously, like we like things that like we can remove ourselves from being just law students and like go to Top Golf and only 3 of us play. Go get wings, which 75% of us prefer over the other 25.
I do like going to school.
Oh, the thing of how do you find a law school that fits best for you? Research. Like,
That's
and
it.
also
Really.
I would.
I feel like even research
is still.
I think
You
like
don't know
I did
till
a
you
lot.
get
Like
there.
I watched a lot of videos that were like this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and the thing for me, for the reason, like literally why I picked FAM was that the student to teacher ratio is 1 to 10.
Yes.
So like I needed like that class environment, like the smaller. Like our classrooms are not huge. I mean they're big, but like they're not overwhelming. They're nothing like an ECU lecture. And I know who asked this question. That's why I'm answering it like that. Yeah, so I would definitely find something that suits your learning style and also like the environment that you want to be in. I wanted to be in like an institution. Ooh, bless you. Ooh, yeah. I had ECU as an undergrad, which was a PWI, and I did not want a PWI law school experience. Like I didn't. So that's why I didn't pick that. So it's really just what you want.
Should I take a gap year before grad school or go straight in? Explain.
Oh, This
Just
is
I
shoot
mine.
you guys.
Yeah.
You can
You
answer
didn't
that one.
take
I'll
mine.
just.
Okay, this is a good question because some of us did take gap years and some of us didn't. It was mostly like I was forced to because I didn't prepare well enough to go straight into law school. I hadn't saved enough. My LSAT score wasn't what I wanted. But through my gap year, I learned a lot about myself. I was able to save. I went through post-grad depression, which I feel like was really important for my growth because it's not something I would have wanted to experience in law school, considering how law school takes a toll on your mental health. But I definitely feel like it's like how you pick the best law school for you. You know you best. So it's like, do you feel like you can commit to just 1 year where you grind and you work and you study? Like I took that year off and I increased my LSAT score by 11 points, which is like I had to get reviewed because
really
it's technically
impossible.
Yeah, it's virtually unheard of, right? But it's like I did that for me. Like I took the time for me, so when I did get to this side of the river, I was the most prepared. So it's definitely on a case by case basis.
Yeah, for me, I went straight. Karis went straight as well.
If you're not one of those people that can hold yourself accountable and like
Lots of
stop and go. Yeah, like if I stopped, I wasn't gonna start.
Same.
Again.
I wasn't gonna come back.
So I just had to suck it up and keep going.
But if you have the option and you feel like it'll be best for you, like financially, if you're thinking about going to a school that's far away from your home, if you really don't actually know what you want to do because you went to undergrad and you was coloring, right? Like I know a lot of people do that. Like a lot of people don't know why they go to undergrad. They get a degree in something they have no idea and want to go straight into law school or into grad school. And like, first of all, higher education is not free. Be very, very clear. Don't put yourself in debt just because you want to keep up with the Joneses or you want to compete.
Yeah, or you think being in law school is
it's stressful. We're all breaking out. Like, don't.
Well, we are all breaking out, and this Florida water is trash.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But literally to each his own. Whatever works best for you, but you know you best. So.
All right. Question: would you do it again? Who, child?
Do what?
Do what again?
Well,
I want to say yes because this is something I want to do. Like I really wanted to be a lawyer, and I would do it again because I want to be a lawyer, and I still want to be a lawyer, no matter how much work it takes and how much stress it is. It's so rewarding to get my grades, and the grades I got were good, and to see my hard work pay off, that was good for me. That was rewarding, and to know that I could really do this, because when I got my first rejection from law school, I was like, okay, like, well, I guess I'm not meant to be a lawyer or get into law school. But now that I'm here and I'm really doing it, it's like, yeah, I would do it over again because this is what I really want to do. Y'all got anything?
I would, but
that
I
was
wouldn't.
nice.
that was nice.
Okay, how do you manage your money while in school? I don't.
We don't.
We don't. We are just spending.
Talk to those two.
I asked Courtney, she tried to get me on a budget. She never got on a budget. But, I don't manage my money. And
the key to managing your money in law school is
schedule.
A schedule, being disciplined, and having a budget. Money man in our house. So I got the budget talk, like, when I was in college. And so now, like Alyssa said, I tried to put her on a budget. It's like second nature to me because the budget's actually really freeing. But in law school, when you don't have a steady stream of income, you have to actually be very intentional about where you spend your money. So, like, we were really big on ordering food. That's actually really problematic considering we also bought groceries. Like, it takes a lot of discipline because you can't. And also, one of our professors was telling this, how you spend your money long-term when you sit for the bar, they're going to look at that. Like, if you're putting yourself into debt for handbags and nice shoes.
Well, I don't do that. Just food.
I mean, I like really nice things. Can I buy them right now? No. Right? So, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Like, the bar will check your credit. They will see how you spend your money.
The moral to this whole, the bar gonna check everything.
Everything.
If that question ain't in there, just know what you doing now matters.
You have to manage everything, not just your money. Because they're going to check. They're going to ask you.
Not for real.
Now, why did you spend $500 on Starbucks?
And you got a 563 credit rating.
Why?
Okay.
Are you really fit for the lawyer room?
Is law school really a lot of reading? Yes. The answer to that is yes.
Yes.
You have
No,
reading.
I'm bothered by that question.
Yeah. Why you bothered?
If you guys can
I-
read the books that you're sitting on top of right now,
If you don't like
sure.
reading like that, I guess that's not discouraging, but like either you better get ready or just don't go to law
Yeah.
school because
Because them case briefs don't help.
you have to read. Like a lot of people try to finesse and they try to find shortcuts, but that never helps you. And it
Never.
shows you in the end.
Yeah.
You have to read.
The summer before, I went to Barnes & Noble, I bought like 5 books, and I literally read every
That was
day
smart.
to get myself
that
accustomed
idea.
to reading.
Nah, I ain't do that.
I went to a conference.
I
and they
just-
told me.
I remember our
It was a good
first
idea.
week, and they
I-
posted our readings. We were looking like, what? He wants us to read all of this in a week?
And we was
And we were
And
Why
he
just...
has
do
to
it?
brief.
Should.
And then now we're used to it. Like, I can knock out
Oh, that ain't
30,
nothing.
40
Scan,
pages
pick
like
the
a
important
day,
information.
literally.
yeah.
But the first week, we were like, yo, he's wildin'.
Oh, also, that's important. There's a book. It's called How to Read Like a Lawyer. You don't want to read like you're actually reading a book. You
Yeah,
once you start
that's smart.
realizing like what's important, this is what I need.
It's
Then
good.
that's what you're gonna read. Yeah. If you start literally reading word for word for 40 pages, it's gonna take you 5 hours like it took us.
Oh.
There you go.
Look,
It's gone.
you have to do this.
Not the swatch.
Why would it so
It's called
good?
reading like a lawyer. Okay, all right.
Right.
Next
Next
call.
question.
I haven't
Oh,
read
yeah,
this
no,
shit,
yeah.
sir.
Alright, that's a thick ass.
Sorry, I picked in advance like that.
I'm not answering that.
Man.
Okay. Yo, you look nervous.
Because she knew which one it was. She put it back.
How has law school affected your sex life?
Thought
I
it
would
was
just
a
like to
drought.
ask. What,
First of all, y'all really asked this question. Let's just start there.
yeah. Why would you ask
Ask this question.
What did you gain from that?
out of pocket for
All right,
that?
go ahead, Shay.
You know I ain't got Nathan to say about it.
Listen, thought it was a drought. It was a drought.
It wasn't.
Definitely a drought.
The thing is, though, we are a lot of us, or all of us, we're not from Florida. We go to law school in Florida. What we're used to is not in Florida.
Not.
Not in Florida. And plus, you
This is so
don't
bad.
have time. Okay, I'm trying to say it like
The
I
long
get what
story
you're
short,
saying.
it hurts it, okay?
We can
Okay, I'll go
back
ahead.
off each other.
Go ahead.
I don't want to talk about sex, but how it affects your relations with other people. I don't even know how to say what I'm trying to say.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Okay, would you say talk about the jealous mistress?
Yeah.
Okay, so they tell you that law school is the jealous mistress, which pretty much means that it'll take your attention away from your spouse. And I know a lot of people who like came in married and are happily married, but they also get to go home to their spouse every day and like maintain that relationship. And if you don't have that, it can be difficult. What parts of this I can post, but
Yeah.
we're gonna see.
Because I wasn't in that. But
Alright, let me move on because that was just.
All
I
the
was gonna
story
ask
is
that.
that it was non-existent.
And I was trying not to be overly availing.
yeah, we should.
What is the grading scale like for your classes?
We're almost done.
What was the question?
What is
What
the
is the grading scale like?
Oh, it's a curve.
It's a curve.
Can you explain the curve?
The Hunger Games.
So it's not like
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
everybody can just get an A. Like if we all do good, we can get an A. That's not how it works. Like there's a certain amount of A's, certain amount of A minuses. Like it's set like an actual curve.
Sometimes the highest grade be a 30.
And that's
Most
the
of the
A,
time.
And
baby.
that's the A.
Most of the time,
Yeah.
really.
So the highest grade sets the curve, and that's how you do it. So
Also, don't be super fearful of the curve like we were when we first started. Because, like, when you get to law school, you learn nobody's smart. People are just more skillful than others.
Literally,
So-
work smarter, not
Not
harder.
yeah.
But don't cheat. The curve definitely works in your favor if you work the curve. And it's something you have to figure out while you get to law school. Because people told us about it and we were like, gassed. Like, oh my God, oh my God. No, you'll figure it out.
And just in case you guys are wondering why we're so hyped about making it to the second year of law school, it's because of the curve.
Literally.
Because the people at the bottom of the curve,
they had to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what the first year is, like I said earlier, sink or swim. And
Yeah,
if we
it's
made it-
very rigorous if you want to be honest, because everyone can do well. Literally everyone can do well. Study, it's law school. Everyone's putting in the time, and you might be the one to get that bad grade because of the curve. Like you don't just deserve an A because that's how many points you scored.
Yeah.
It's literally the curve. So it can be good and it could be bad. Just do your best. Now, next caller. When should I start LSAT prep? What books did you use, and is investing in a prep course worth the money? For me, I invested in a prep course, and I also bought my own books. The prep course, I'm gonna say it helped because again, I wasn't used to law-based questions, I guess, or things. I wasn't used to the type of questions that I'll be asked on the LSAT, so it helped me get used to that. But to me, it wasn't worth those classes are like thousands of dollars. I can't say it helped me in the course. It kind of just gave me a beginner what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can learn that on your own by watching YouTube videos, reading books. What's that LSAT book?
Khan Academy is free on
Yes,
LSAT
through the
too.
LSAT website.
Khan Academy. That I used that too. That was pretty helpful.
Yeah, and it
The
was free.
LSAT Bible, I use that.
By the Power School people. That is smacks. They give you 3 books. Fantastic.
And also get the book that. What is that book called where it has all the old LSAT exams and the answers?
Yeah.
And if you're trying to look for something on sale, Half Price Books has older ones. You know, sometimes they're $10, and you can just
really
get those.
Look for
or use on Amazon. It's good too.
Yeah.
Look for the free things, the things that are cheaper, because you're already going to spend a guap getting to law school. Don't spend a guap getting to law school. There's lots of free supplements online, lots of people on Twitter, like Black Law Twitter, that are willing to help you divulge study schedules, plans, books, all that stuff.
And start as soon as you can. Do not wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
Procrastination is not
as early as
that. LSAT is not
the more
easy.
practice, the more you get used to it, because it's a
the
time thing.
Yeah.
Really. And that's what you're gonna get. That's what you're gonna get faced with in law school. Is time. Like you don't get 5 minutes to answer one question. So the earlier you start, the more you get used to the time.
I want to add to that because I know there's a question in here about this, but everybody isn't a test taker, and
I'm not.
I'm not either, and the application process is a holistic review. So that means while the LSAT is important, everything else in your application is important too. So the question I think is what else can I do to boost your application? But obviously obviously that was rude. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Not she apologized.
Okay, sorry.
She apologizes for everything.
Okay. Just make sure that you're doing activities. I had a lot of extracurricular activities from undergrad and things like that, and I don't know, just make sure. And if you want to get an internship, that's probably good too. I had internships for my undergrad, but I didn't have a legal internship. But just make sure it shows that you're capable of doing something, and then also write an addendum. I wrote a very good addendum, and I said, I wrote one, and I said that my SAT score wasn't what it should have been, but then I said that I graduated with the GPA that I had. So obviously I can produce the results, just maybe not on the exam. So just make sure that you're emphasizing that you're capable of doing it.
My LSAT was average and my GPA was average, but I wrote that
and look at you, still in law school.
And I wrote that addendum, and it got me into majority of the schools I applied to. I got denied one school and waitlisted another, but it was
Don't be discouraged by the LSAT. It in no way is outcome determinative. Is being cold called as scary as it sounds?
Yes.
And
100%.
Did you do drugs to stay awake and study?
No.
Drugs are very, very
So
bad.
start with the friends part. Obviously, not obviously, you guys don't know me, so stop saying obviously. It was harder for me than for everyone else, which is really weird that I answered that question. But so just make yourself open and try, and it is a competitive environment, but don't go in there with a competitive mindset because there's enough room for everybody at the table, and there's no need for you to make enemies where you don't need to have them. Like, if you're, especially being in an HBCU, like, I'm in a literally building full of brilliant Black people. Like, where else would I want to be? Like, it's just, you don't want to, why would you close yourself off to that? So, yeah. And then, obviously, if you have some sort of, like, anxiety about, like, making friends, just try and be better and meet people that are
just be open.
Considerate about that.
I feel like, for me, it was easy. Like, Cora said, can you walk with me to here? I said, yup.
She did. Literally during foundation.
Literally, that's how we became friends. I became friends with them in the line getting food. They were talking about, I don't know, child. We just started talking.
Do y'all want to go out?
But I think that
I was like, oh, we're going out? You guys invited me?
Yeah.
And
Karen and I sat by each other.
It's just, I feel like law school is so new. You're a 1L. It's so new. No one knows what to expect. So it's easy to make friends because we're all in the same boat. We're all little crabs, don't know what we're doing, where to go, whatever. Yeah. So it's easy to talk. Now, there's some people who come in like, like, you know, they come in like, stay focused, don't talk, don't sweat. They're gonna look. I know.
Don't be competitive.
But that's how crazy it look. Like, people come in competitive like that, and then they end up losing resources because some things, I don't know, they help me with, and vice versa. So
that's important too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. To me, it was easier because I don't know everything. Law school new to me. I ain't never been here before. So
enough to be the smartest person in the room. Like, even if you went to undergrad and had
whatever,
like that, literally you walk in the door, it means nothing because everybody in that room is
because we are all here
like
now.
We got here, so
the friends that you make now might be the people that employ you in the future. So don't burn bridges for no reason.
That part.
Like, don't go in school being pissy, and you might be sitting next to somebody who might be a judge one day and might put in a good word for you.
Yeah. Like, don't be messy.
Yeah. Law school, like we said earlier, it's a business.
Literally. Okay. So
it's being cold called as scary as it sounds.
Yes.
It's not like Legally Blonde, honey. It's worse.
It's worse.
Worse.
I was shaking the first time, bro. You heard?
Miss Walker.
It's hard bad, but like, again, if you don't read and you're not prepared, it's gonna be even worse.
And people gonna be looking at you like, well, I know who's gonna be at the bottom of the curve because they don't read every time they get called on.
Like, I had a professor ask me while I'm briefing a case, are you really gonna stand up in court and say that with a straight face?
Stand your ground. If you wrong, be loud and wrong. Like, don't let them bully you.
If there's any word to be loud and wrong, it's the worst. Like, it's worse than being wrong is going back on your word after you say something. Like, because if you say it, say it.
Right.
As an attorney, your word is your bond. So if you wrong, make your case for why you think you right. Oh,
did you do drugs to stay awake and steady? No.
So that's the
answer the question is no.
Oh yeah, no. Let's get it.
What are the benefits of out of state versus in state? Well, clearly we all left.
Yeah.
We all left.
We all got.
I would say mine is I'm very just like I always want to be somewhere else. I like to experience new things. I honestly didn't think I would end up in Florida. To me, it was something that I feel like I was led to. But I think the benefit of being out of state is like cultivating a new environment, meeting new friends, learning things about a new place, versus being in state where I know I would be like, I'd be conditioned. I'd be able to go home whenever I wanted.
That's the thing, not being able to go home. I think it definitely
builds character.
Yeah, and it definitely helped me focus more because if I was in Texas, Lord knows.
Yeah, I was going home, eating dinner.
Yeah,
and I think we needed that.
I was linking with my friends.
I'm from North Carolina. I don't want to practice in North Carolina. I don't want to live in North Carolina. So there was literally no need for me to go to school in North Carolina. So
how is having law school friends versus non-law school friends? Wow, that's a good question. Okay, my friends are jealous. Let's start there. They are because you're used to being with people. You're used to being with them all the time, and then you see your friend moving to another state with different friends. So for me, for my friends, I know like for the first couple months, I got a lot of pushbacks, like jokes, obviously, but like they didn't really understand the new me. Like, I've changed a lot, and they weren't there to witness it. They were.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, even going back home, it was just, to me, a different feeling. Same vibe, but just different because law school changes you. So I think I just gained a new friend group, but it's just a different type of friend group for a different type of thing, if that makes sense.
I feel the same. I think for me, it was more so like, certain people, when you come to law school, you're like, you realize that what you got to lose and what you can do and what you can't do. And a lot of my friends back home didn't understand that. They didn't understand that I couldn't be the same person I was in undergrad. And that was the biggest problem. They're like, you changed. Yeah, I did change. I have so much to lose. I can't be doing what I used to do, and I can't be going out. Like, I just can't do it, and I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to be around people either that aren't, motivating me, that aren't really supportive of me. Yeah. So, it's just, you lose some friends, and that's fine. But it's not really you lose them. You just learn to, be friends with them from a distance. And it's just a matter of growing. Like, you grow up when you're in law school, you have so much to lose. You can't do everything
some people
you
don't
used to do.
understand that. Like, I can't be around certain stuff.
Yeah. I can't, and that's the truth. And I would never, ever jeopardize my future over you. That's it. And you should never do that for any of your friends, any of your family. Realize that you come first, and this is your career.
I actually had the direct opposite. My friends are incredible. My entire law school journey. Like,
wait, hold on. Let me say my
friends are incredible too.
They weren't that friends.
Yeah, no, you were saying like did it strain, right? Mine was like kind of the opposite. Like, they didn't really like care that I made new friends just because of like the time in my life that I made them. So it was like it was easier to manage because we had an understanding before we even got here. Like, they were well aware that like I'm a social person. I'm going to make new friends. These are going to be the people I spend 29 hours, 8 days a week with. Like,
I don't think. Go ahead.
Intentional about managing my friendships, because I set a schedule, which sounds bad, but like I called so and so on one day and like so and so on Tuesday, like and in my schedule, like Shay said, made a schedule. I literally wrote call Kaya at so and so amount of time, like so I would be able to call my friends because. Obviously, they say, like, the people that you meet, like, when you're going through the situation and you're growing, like, those are going to be friends, too, but, like, actually come out. Don't undercut the friendships that you're going to make here for the sake of your other friendships.
Right.
Because I'll have friends at home, but I'm definitely going to be friends with these people. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. This is the first time she said that. I thought she was going to cut me out.
Oh, real.
Wow.
You're entitled to have different friends for different
things.
Like,
And that's fine. I learned that for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do well with keeping up with people, to be honest. Like, because I didn't want to hear the same questions because you're not going to understand. I'm just tired of saying I'm good and lying. Like, I want to go with people who understand and, like, really
like, girl, I'm stressing. I don't know what I'm finna do.
So I think it was just hard managing with what was the old you and now is the new you. So it's just kind of hard to know.
And you kind of learn who your real friends are. People that know that you're busy and check up on you. Like, that meant so much to me. Like, a simple text, how are you? That meant so much to me. And I'm still friends and really good friends with all my best friends from undergrad. But them checking up on me, that was like, dang, like, you're thinking about me. Okay, I appreciate that. You know what I'm going through. So I want to say I did have the best friends as well, but it was just, it was a lot.
It's a transition.
It was hard for me to reach out because I was so busy, and they thought that because I was always with my friends, they're like, oh, well, you're with your other friends.
That's what I meant by jealous, because they don't really see the things that we do. And another thing.
Oh, you're busy, but you're out. Wait.
Yeah.
You know, I had to read for 5 hours to go out for 2. Relax.
Like, that bothers me.
Because technically, we shouldn't even be out, but we are.
Not even that. We should be out. Like, that. I think that pissed me off.
Don't tell me what I
family and friends, like, y'all don't know what we go through. Y'all don't know what we go through. And then you out every week. I sure am. Did you read 1,000 pages? No. So stay home. Like,
tell me
we
what
don't
you
have
know
the
about
luxury.
product liability.
So you don't understand why we're out. So okay, last question. Sorry.
5%.
How accessible? I said how accessible are your professors? It depends on the professor, really. Mine were like literally half and half. Some had an open door policy. Some had an open door but was never in that door. So it really just depends on your professor.
It's not like undergrad. You can't go in there without any questions. You go in there with questions and you ask them and they explain to you. You can't go in there and ask them to teach you something because they will not do that.
And you better have looked for the answer yourself before you go.
Period.
Like, exhausted all options. Google, YouTube, books, librarians.
Even if your professor isn't helpful, I think some of our professors weren't helpful in some cases, but we still went and got help other ways. And to me, the best thing was talking to upperclassmen because 9 times out of 10, they had the professor before. Ask them what they did and how they maintained it or what they would have done better. Some people.
All right.
Well,
Well, thank you.
for